This is Clark County Fire District 6's EMS Division's training tape on Rehab 61. This training tape is intended to provide you with basic knowledge of new equipment, procedures, or techniques. This video does not replace hands-on familiarization needed to fully understand what is demonstrated in this video. Let's begin with the in-cab starting procedures. While seated in the driver's position, the console to your left is where we will begin. Beginning with the first toggle switch closest to the front of the bus is the battery switch. Flip it on. Next is the selector dial. Turn it to the run position. Next, flip the engine switch up until the engine starts. Auxiliary controls are the next switches that control the lighting, heating and cooling, and high idle. Let's begin with the next toggle switch in line, which is the exterior floods. This floodlight is for night ops, where you need lighting directed under the awning area. It is a low voltage LED system. Next you have the toggle for the emergency master switch. This switch controls the red strobe lights mounted on the front and rear of the bus. They are intended to be used while parked and not to be used to clear traffic while driving. The next toggle are the interior lights. The hazard light toggle switch controls emergency amber flashing lights. These can also be used on emergency scenes in addition to the emergency strobe lights. They are located on the front and the rear of the bus. The remaining controls on this panel control heating and air conditioning. To the right of the driver, another control panel is found. This control panel has toggles that control high idle, which should be used while the bus is operating on scene to help maintain adequate oil pressure. Other toggles control overhead map lighting and speaker selectors to allow the main radio to broadcast to the interior, exterior, or both. The main compartment area is used for seating. 12 individuals can sit on built-in chairs. This area can be used for inclement days when outside conditions are extreme. Located immediately after the seating area, collapsible tables, benches, cots, and chairs are located. Trash cans, large traffic pylons, and storage bins containing dry clothing are also stored here for easy access and storage. Continuing aft, now midship on the apparatus, the toilet is located. To flush the toilet, simply step on the foot pedal until the waste is disposed. Then, lift up on the pedal to seal the bowl and create a water seal, preventing sewer gas to permeate. Windows can be opened to allow ventilation. Opposite the toilet, also midship on the bus, is the snack and supply area. Here, self-serve nutrition bars, ready-to-eat soups, protein bars, and the like are kept. Also located here is the coffee, tea, and hot chocolate, and other supplies used to support the replenishment stations. Coffees, tea, and chocolates, however, are reserved for non-firefighting personnel, such as command staff, as caffeine is discouraged for these individuals. Located below these roll-out bins are ice coolers filled with room temperature bottled water. All snacks and fluids can be kept on the bus or moved to locations outside the bus for easier access. At the back of the apparatus is the medical area. There are double doors leading to the outside, which allow for entry point into rehab. In the medical area, a variety of equipment is stored during transport and prior to setup. Most of the equipment seen here will be moved to the outside. A backboard seat collar is stored on one of the two benches where individuals can lie down or sit while being evaluated. On the driver's side, above the bench, mounted to the ceiling bulkhead in mesh compartments, are oxygen delivery devices such as nasal cannulas, non-rebreathers, and mednebs. There are some respiratory medications located there, such as albuterol and Atrovent. BVMs are also located here, along with the thermometer and thermometer sheaths. Specialized burn packs are located above the refrigerator. Mounted on the side of the refrigerator is a blood pressure monitoring station. Above the refrigerator is a full-body burn pack. On the floor in front of the squad bench are two E-cylinder oxygen tanks with regulators. A refrigerator that is constantly attached to shore power while the rehab unit is in storage supplies refrigerated sport drinks for immediate use once the apparatus is deployed. In the door are condiments. Mounted on the aft bulkhead above the rear bench is a collapsible stretcher. More meshed storage organizers are mounted above the counter where the microwave and coffee maker are located. Here, hot and cold packs are kept, along with sharps containers, gloves, and accessories for the ProPack Vitals monitor. The ProPack Welsh Allen Vitals monitor is a 3-lead EKG monitor with NIBP and SpO2 capabilities. To turn it on, depress the button on top of the unit. Then follow on-screen directions to operate. Refer to the ProPack LT Vital Signs Monitor Quick Reference Guide for more information on its operation. This guide is affixed to the window next to the unit. The coffee maker's extension cord needs to be extended out the window and plugged into the generator. The microwave will plug into the power cord located behind the unit. Fixed to the window behind the microwave is the rehab criteria for entry. Use its decision tree to help you running rehab. Also, too, is an operational guide for the SpCO monitor. This next chapter is setting up rehab for operations. We'll begin by deploying the roll-out awning. Located to the right of the main stairwell is a metal rod about 3 feet long. As you face the awning, on the right side on the end is a lever. Flip it up. Now, release the safety catches located on the side of the supports, shown here in the close-up. Now, using the pull rod again, locate the purple strap in the middle of the awning, hook it with the loop, and pull, extending the awning to its full open position. Now, extend the awning support stabilizers on both supports. Slide them all the way until they latch. Now extend the awning support stabilizers on both supports. Slide them all the way until they latch. Depending on environmental conditions, extend the support risers to a level that is preferred. A slight angle or pitch allows water to drain off. A closer view of the extension strut handle. To collapse the awning, reverse all of the steps outlined for the deployment. Begin by returning all extension supports and risers to the collapsed position, then release the lever controlling the retractable awning, paying close attention not to let the awning slam closed. Rehab 61 has 8 state-of-the-art four-arm immersion cooling chairs. They are located and stored just inside the rear double doors. Deploy them in a safe area away from smoke, harsh sun, traffic, and other potentially unsafe elements. Here, the cooling chairs are placed underneath the awning to protect them from direct sunlight. They could also be placed here to protect them from rain or other precipitation. Here, plastic disposable liners are inserted and then filled with clean water. Use hydrant water if necessary. Make sure that the retaining snaps are securely placed to prevent the liners from dumping. NFPA 1584, the standard on rehabilitation process, outlines under the SOGs that accountability needs to be maintained while personnel are in rehab at all times. To do this, we deploy 4 traffic cones to create a perimeter around the cooling area. We then wrap scene tape around these traffic cones to create 1 rehab entry point and exit point. Also available for deployment are collapsible benches and tables. If you choose to use these, the benches and tables come as one unit. Extend the legs on the table, allowing now the benches to be removed. Extend the legs completely, making sure that the leg locks are securely in place, preventing the benches from collapsing when any weight is placed on them. Height can be adjusted if necessary. Even though the apparatus is left idling in the high idle mode during its deployment, Rehab 61 has a gas-powered 3,000 watt Honda generator on board. This is used to power up the microwave, coffee maker, and refrigerator. Extension cords are used to bring power from the generator to the shore power adapter. Okay, we have now deployed all of the components of Rehab. We've got cooling chairs and cooling fans, collapsible benches and tables are established, cold water and sports drinks, garbage cans, the decon area is put up. We have cots available if needed, and the awning is erected and the containment area is established. When running Rehab, as a rehab officer or assigned to Rehab, crews will approach from the rear of the bus through the double doors. This is the Rehab entry point. From this point, use the Rehab officer checklist to document incoming personnel's time into rehab, the individual's name, company assignment, their initial pulse, BP if necessary, temperature, any complaints, followed by their current status in rehab. Entry criteria is as follows. A heart rate less than 110 beats per minute without complaints releases the individual to proceed to replenishment and nutrition. Individuals with a heart rate greater than 110 now will get a complete set of vitals, including temp. The company officer's responsibility is to check his or her company into rehab on the status board. Find your apparatus placard and place it in the in Rehab column. Now scribe the time in the next column. Personnel enter and leave Rehab as a company. The Rehab officer will relieve you from Rehab once specific criteria is met. The next component of Rehab is its toilet. This is a typical RV style toilet with a direct dump into a holding tank. To operate it, step on the pedal to flush. Lift the pedal to refill. This creates a water seal, preventing sewer gas from permeating. A spray hose is located to the right of the toilet, and this can be used to clean the bowl when necessary. Garbage should not be placed down the toilet. Any garbage should be placed in the biohazard bag located on the bulkhead wall next to the toilet. Once crews have been cleared through medical, they should continue through the bus, past the seating area, out the exit, and into the containment area where they can now cool, warm up, refresh, re-nourish, decon. Personnel assigned to Rehab will be in Rehab for a minimum of 15 minutes. Take this opportunity to replenish and rehydrate. Facts about rehabilitation. Firefighting is stressful. Firefighters place considerable strain on the cardiovascular system because of the heavy workloads firefighters perform, including carrying the weight of the personal protective equipment and also the thermal strain. Thermal strain results from the several factors, including the metabolic heat produced by working muscles, the heavy, insulative, semi-permeable protective gear, which adds to the metabolic work that must be done and traps the metabolic heat next to the body, and in some cases, the radiant heat associated with the fire. The cardiovascular demands of heavy muscular work and increased body temperatures result in competing demands for blood flow to the metabolically active muscles that support the heavy muscular work, the skin in the response to the thermoregulatory demands resulting from muscular work in a hot environment, and vital organs, including the brain and heart, to support life. So what has been done to help firefighters deal with this stress? The fire service has been combating heart and underlying heat stress issues through a number of fireground rehabilitation strategies such as crew rotation, fluid replacement, and cooling that is passive, which means opening up the PPEs and sitting on the ground in the shade, or active cooling through ice packs or vests, air conditioning, misting fans, and even cryogenics. The latest research shows that most of these strategies do not work to effectively reduce core temperature. Even more ominously, some of these strategies do reduce skin temperature, but only fools the firefighters into thinking they are fit for a reassignment, when in fact their core temperature remains high or continues to climb dangerously. This could encourage a firefighter to dangerously resume work while still overstressed. Research shows that firefighters must actively cool and that hand and form immersion is the most effective means for reducing core temperatures. Combine this with rest and hydration, hand and form immersion is the most effective way for firefighters to mitigate the horrendous impact of stress on their health and safety. Rehabilitation is intended to ensure that emergency workers can safely return to active duty following a work rotation. An effective rehabilitation program must include the following: rest, a timeout to help firefighters stabilize vital signs; rehydration, replacing lost fluids, plasma volume; restoration of core temperature through active cooling or rewarming; medical monitoring and treatment; relief from extreme climatic conditions like heat, cold, wind, and rain; and refueling, calories, and electrolytes. All of these factors are essential components of a rehab program and must be included to avoid dehydration and heat stress. Do not view rehab as being placed on the sidelines during the big game, but rather an opportunity for you and your company to perform at their best while ensuring everyone's safety and well-being.